Hello. How are you? I haven't done a reading in a while. Wow, I saw the unicorn and the crow. I've just been like surviving this Saturn at 29 degrees Pisces, aspecting my 29 degree Pluto. So very intense. I also have just like very little space. Oh, my crystals fell off. All right, we have elephant, firefly, and bear. They all have an element of light in them. And then we have the bat, which is the moon. And I remember, because it's on the top here, look at the elephant came out last time I used this deck, which I think was a private reading. And, you know, I feel a lot going on with the feminine. We have buffalo. The abundant universe will provide. Wow. They got the white raven. I didn't wipe the lens off. I'm going to do that real quick. Okay. I've not worn this shirt for years. Just very interesting, this color. Trust in the magic. So I think we also have to say trust in the magician. Dolphin spirit. This and that are true. 10, 20, 66. Panther spirit. Reclaim your power. 44. Such a beautiful card. So we have two very dark cards here. And three very light cards underneath here. I do feel like the moon encounter that we just had was very, I don't know if I want to say it illuminated darkness. I don't know what I want to say exactly. Let's see if we have clues here. Didn't I say trust in the magic, trust the magician? Trust. 4, 4. So we have 4, 4, 4, 4. Ask, listen, and allow. Wow. Soul merger. Ebb and flow. 3, 3. They have very magical cards. False twin flame. Intense change. 2, 2. I would say, so we have 2, 0, 2, 2. I would say that, oh man. Wow. So we have 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 0. Okay. Twin flame facilitator, expansive growth. I feel like you may be getting like new synchronicities. It's interesting that they bring that up because I was getting a particular synchronicity forever and then it just disappeared. And it's almost like we're integrating that particular era or that particular time. I don't believe in timelines. Particular like energy signature. 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. What won't you allow yourself to have? I feel like there's this like, you won't allow yourself to have, I never do this sort of shuffling, have something. Five of Pentacles, the Wheel, the Devil. Page of Swords. I drew 2. We're going to take the 8 of Cups. That would have been the next one. King of Cups. I'll keep that in mind. 3 of Wands. 4 of Cups. Temperance. King of Pentacles. 2 double kings. 10 of Pentacles comes back out with the 6 of Wands. 5 of Wands, Hanged Man. So really we have 2 major arcana, but sort of 3. It's like, I don't think he wants you to see him holding back, but it doesn't really matter because you see everything anyway. And I get such an interesting energy. It's like he wants you to think he's holding back because he's afraid, but he's not really afraid. It's just that there is a touch of manipulation here, and I almost never get that off the wheel, but the proximity to the devil, it's making me think all sorts of weird things. For me, the devil mostly means fear energy, and it's especially because it's like how you deal with fear, patterns of fear. It can be manipulative for me. And it's sad because I love the wheel energy. Oh, we got cornucopia and yin and yang. Wow, you guys. We got 11 and 22. And then door to value, which is 31. It's also a very important number for me, and so is 13. Okay. You know, he's doing what he needs to do. And I think the message for you is to try... Ooh, we had a sneaky card stuck in here. Heart with a key. Is to try to let go of trying to assign meaning to it. And I know that's a really far out kind of message here. But you're going through some type of repatterning in your identity, I feel like. You know, here's this 6-pointed star here. And it's interesting. Yesterday I was listening to how the Venus, it's moving from morning to evening, I believe. Sometime. I don't know when. You know, it's interesting that we have the Magician card, which I didn't really see until now, and I keep mentioning that. Sometimes it's in the evening sky and sometimes it's in the morning sky. And, you know, its orbit makes a 5-pointed star. And somebody was pointing that out on a video the other day. And you have this like 5-pointed star right here. And I feel like you have had a long period of overcoming this sacral energy or healing it. And this is done now, or has been done for a little while. Oh, I'm looking outside and one of my plants has this like, it just all of a sudden has like this brand new leaf ready to unfurl. And this plant has had a hard time kind of acclimating. It doesn't really like being inside. It doesn't really like being outside, even though I have a lot of the same type of plant around it that do fine outside. This one has like the black stem and it's very picky. And I feel in a way you're going through this repatterning, and maybe there's an ungroundedness to you, because I'm getting this, you know, kind of floaty feeling up here where you don't know where you're going and you don't know what you're doing and you really don't know what the next like incarnation, you know, I mean, obviously it's this life, but you know, the next like phase of your life holds. And I feel like your masculine is going to assist you with this for some reason. I have no reason to think that. It's just what's coming through here. Is that he is kind of working in shadow right now. It's a very unusual reading. Sort of manipulating the energy. And it's interesting, like all these little dots of light remind me of the firefly that we had up here, where I feel like he's sending a lot of Look, it says silence is easier. I was going to say non-verbal signals, and then we have the void too. Out of the void. That's basically what I wanted to say. I don't think I would call it the void, but I definitely think across the distance, the silence, the energy is he's trying to send, look at, something to you. Oh, I didn't open my drink. And it says this, something is telling me to talk to you. Why is something telling him? And we also have this yin yang. We do have black there. You know, we have the yod once again, or that's what I call it. I don't think that's what it's called. And then we have the caduceus. He's being guided, like you're on his mind, shaman. How could you want me? Sometimes I think you're talking to me. 2 cards. Deja vu. I had intense dream deja vu yesterday, and that I don't know that I've ever had that like I did yesterday. Where I realized a dream I had years ago was about being in this house and something that happened. And I know there's a lot of explanations for deja vu. I've never had it from a dream like that. I'm a Pisces moon, and that's kind of what we're famous for, whatever, infamous, I don't know. So I kind of see something in my mind, and it's like, I don't know what it is, but it's like numbers flashing. Like a code's trying to be broken. This could relate to a lot of things. Like, it could be like a security system on a house. It could be like lotto numbers. It could be like a code. I don't know what this is, but I see it like testing numbers. You know, a lot of different numbers. Look, you guys, I can't make it up. So there's 2 cards in this deck. One says Magician, and we have Silence is Easier, Venus energy, and I just talked about that. Have you forgotten me? The Alchemist, 2 joining together. Thank you for letting me have my space. There's a lot here about space. One says Magician vibes, and this one says the Magician. Boundless, formless, pure potential, infinite, free-flowing magic is the source of infinite love and matter. Oh, man. It's just going to sound like the weirdest thing I have ever said. It's almost as if you two are trying to talk to each other on this soul level. You know, my belief is that twin flames are one soul. And I've learned over the last 3 months so much about the soul that has made me rethink a lot of things. And one is the way, I always end up telling my tarot community things before I tell my manifesting community, but one thing is that your soul communicates to you through your body. This is my understanding. And that soul kind of oversoul player, right? Your soul component probably directs both of you, right? With communication in a way that isn't words. And I almost feel like you guys have tapped into this. Or you have a much better, like, reception on it. Which would be amazing, right? Like, you would really have some... Oh, 15. Okay, so... You two, I think you're communicating, like, before words. And that means it's in your body. And I wonder, I don't know exactly what this means because I've never had a message like this, but I think it's something around, like, maybe you... So that communication is more through feelings. Now, you can have thoughts from that too. But it isn't like when you get a download psychically or intuitively, or even the other one, you know, clairaudiently. At least for me, I get it in the words when it's clairaudient. When it's kinesthetic, I get it in like a feeling. And that's more what I'm talking about. When it is knowing, it's kind of just like it arrives in already formed. I don't know how else to explain that. The first really strongest psychic sense I had that I knew was psychic was when decisions were made. I could feel like it was almost like an on-off switch, and it would click one way or the other. And it would be like yes or no. And I could feel that immediately when it happened. Okay, so this says no one makes me feel like you do. But I want you to... This is so crazy. These cards are so crazy today. Okay, I want you to pay attention to things that you're like, that doesn't really matter. Because I guess they're having me point this out to you, that there's so many different ways you can understand and receive information. And the important part, I guess, that they're getting to here is that the more open your heart, the more you're receiving. Okay, I'm not good at communicating my feelings with you, which is crazy, right? Because I feel like that's why they're like... Part of me feels like this isn't for everyone, that they thought like, not telekinesis, you know, when you communicate non-verbally, like through whatever it is. I don't know why I can't even think of the name right now. Through your minds. Part of me thinks that they felt like it was not real, and I think some of them have changed their mind on that. You mean the world to me. You see how this is all like about, this is my feeling. It's like, they don't want to talk face to face with you, but they do want to talk to you. Look, I want to be with you. My life has changed so much since meeting you. So many songs remind me of you. And that may be one thing that's happening, like you may be hearing songs. I'm so tired of sabotaging this connection. I need you back in my life. So this is this kind of fear I'm talking about here. I don't want this to be over. What if you don't accept me for who I really am? I'm still healing wounds from a past relationship. I keep a close eye on your social media. Like, I don't know. I've gotten to the point right now, for me, it's like, who cares? But we always care. I guess this reading needed to happen because, oops, this is not right. They want you to, like, perhaps look at things with a different perspective. I don't know why I'm holding back so much, because there feels like there's a heaviness in my solar plexus. Like, I feel like that's from you guys reorienting or evaluating or repatterning who you are. They're like pointing this out, reclaiming your power. They're like, sorry, Spirit. It's not what you sound like. Phoenix. Probably the most beautiful card that could have come out right there. You know, I think there's a fear that you may have that your life will just so drastically change. There's so many cards of watching you, looking at what's going on. Oh, secret card, ascending. Watching you ascend. Interesting. I took those off the bottom of the deck too. I don't know why. This whole reading feels kind of like upside down. Okay. You seem to be looking, he seems to be especially looking for clarity. And you seem to be like, I have been offering you clarity forever. And now my new phase is beginning. This card says new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, and changed mind. And I get this feeling like there are going to be big changes in you. And I really, so some of the things, I love that astrology is very popular and it's getting popular. I don't love that kind of the way it's being used is like more shock value sometimes, because that's really not its purpose. It's not like, I mean, it's a bad analogy, but it's like you don't drive your car and then every 5 seconds they're like, oh, like a telephone wire is going to fall in the road and there's going to be a flood with alligators in it. And then, you know, you're going to have to get out of your car and like completely rearrange your entire car and take the motor out. Like, that's kind of the equivalent sometimes I get. Like, you will recognize your life. Everything's going to change. And it's really, my opinion, not the point of astrology. It gets a lot of like clicks and likes and stuff, but if you're going to initiate change, yeah, things might change. Something might end. And you might end something. And it's more likely to be you might end something. You might end this low self-esteem, and you might heal this people-pleasing, and you might take a really good look at your life and the healing you have been doing and what needs to come next. Like, that's the feeling I'm getting. It's like between you, I feel like you're watching each other if you can, or you may be also like strategically placing things for each other to see. That's not for everybody, but I feel like there's this side-eye thing going on here. And I just get this like cheekiness off of the feminine, like, yeah, expansive growth. And yeah, like, I'm going to trust my path. I'm going to trust myself. And I get this feeling he's like, hey, I'm ready now. He might not be ready to soul merge, but he's ready for something. And you're like, okay, well, good for you. I've been ready for like years here or whatever it is. And I got nothing, so you'll be fine. I'm not going to come, this is what I'm getting. I'm not going to like focus on you and come running to you when you say, now is the time, because I had to stop those patterns. And I'm stopping more patterns, by the way. Like, I get this, I'm stopping more patterns because there's an idea of my powerful self. And I remember who I am. Like, I remember I live in an abundant universe. I am, you know, the consciousness in a body. And you see, like, the elephant has this ruby, but also is holding the flame, and it's just a single flame. It has one broken trunk, so it's been to battle, right? And here we have the buffalo with the 2 horns, the shaman feathers. And then we're learning to trust our heart, right? Ask, listen, allow. It's not, I'm going to control every single thing. I'm going to worry about every single thing. I'm going to like shapeshift myself. No. I'm rekindling, renewing, and transforming and growing. This is what I get off the feminine. Now, everybody's going to do that in their own way, but it's a very powerful, like it's already been decided energy for me here. And I do feel like it has kind of turned everything upside down for you. I don't think you did that intentionally. I definitely think he's noticing what's going on. You know, I feel like this masculine here definitely could have given into ending things prematurely, ghosting you, not talking to you, giving into fears. See, it says self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship, love bombing. Interested, conversing more. Awaited message arrives. Text, call, email, and hoovering. See, these are in reverse. Relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform your life. I feel like he didn't do, you know, you could have been waiting for a long time for an answer, a response, direction, whatever it is. Even if you guys were still talking and he didn't ghost you or he didn't break it off like out of nowhere or choose someone else, I just feel the answer never came and he kept you in the dark. And he's realizing that a lot about that right now. I think that's why we had the dark and the light stuff in the beginning. And it might be that if there was a karmic involved, which there always is, that he has like learned the lessons from that. You know, that's me being, I think, very hopeful or optimistic. And there is something here like, you've come so far. There has been this pressure cooker type transformation. Don't just drop it all when the tide comes back in. You know, it is very interesting that we got false twin flame and twin flame facilitator. I'm not really a false twin flame person, but I understand what it's saying there. Personally, that's like, I understand because I had some experiences of people very close to his vibration before he showed up. That was kind of like, I felt like it was like a precursor, just around in my life, that's all. And I think that happens because of our frequency. We just draw in people like that. So we got the Emperor with lead, strength with control, so 4, 8. Giving and receiving, 6. Kind of knew the Empress was going to come out. Empress in reverse with the sun behind her. And this is the sun. Wow. And then we have trust, which is the Fool. A 9. That's 9 of Cups and 6 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, and then detach. God, I always forget this one. I think it's Hangman. And then 4 of Cups and the 4 of Swords. 2 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles again, with the 8 of Cups again, and the World in reverse. So, you know, he wants to come back around. As I said, I think he was pretending things about the karmic and about you that now have had to deconstruct. It's a weird way to say it. He's very hesitant on trying again here. As I said, I think he wants to be the one in receiving, which is really interesting because I think you're kind of done being the giver or chaser, whatever. And if you have to move on from this in the way that you have to move on from it for now, so be it. It's kind of what I'm getting. It's like, how much time am I going to waste on this ghost here, on this mirror? Well, things just pass me by, and we have the moon here once again. It's not like you know, I think what you want is the truth, and it's not like you want to cause delays, and it's not like you want to unnecessarily drag things on, but you can't stay in this idle position forever, right? Having the Emperor and Strength and the Empress is a very fascinating combination here, especially with the Sun here and the Sun kind of beaming out of solar plexus here. And you're like, I don't know, this combination right here is this feeling of like, how much do I have to give? How much ascension do I have to do? I feel like maybe you've reached a limit, or you feel like you've reached a limit, and it's very interesting because we have the 6 and the 9 here, and on this January 6th and January 9th we have this Venus in the Sun Cazimi, where Venus is within the heart of the Sun, right? And it's really asking us, and I feel, for me, it's in my 8th house, it's a difficult transit because there's nowhere to hide. You might, if you've been holding back a lot, you might crash out. I'm just going to say it because I feel that way. And it's okay. It's like, you may have been holding things for a very long time. You may have been, you know, this is a card of self-mastery here, and he's painting a picture of 2 lovers, right? It looks like the lovers. And you may have been constructing in your mind this new you, and it may have taken a lot of energy, a lot of focus, a lot of dedication, a lot of revision is the word they're using. And you know, with this card, I've never gotten this before. I love this card. It almost looks like wings folded over here. But here they're showing me you may be actually seeing yourself from like your past you, or you may be actually looking at yourself from behind, like in this way where you kind of see through the heart. I've never seen anything like that, but Strength is a card that's very unique to me in a way. You know, it's a Leo. We have double 8s here. And I get this feeling like you have been so working on you and giving and like I feel like you're at this point where You've been giving everyone else compassion and understanding and love, and now it's really needed for you. We have the word focus here twice, and I think it's very important for you to decide what you want to focus on. This has kind of been coming through for me for a couple of days, where it's like, we all know, you know, the gratitude, what we focus on expands, but now it's really time to choose to leave everything you don't want behind, because what you place in your heart now will expand like exponentially. This new era beginning in January and February, it's like the outer planets are all moving, you know, over the next 2 months, and the things you do not want to bring into the next era, you have to let them go. Like, they have to be cut. In your focus, in your attention, in your mind, and in your heart. You can't continue to complain about them, to wish things were different, to hold on to certain aspects, and then not have that be a part of your next cycle, which is a big cycle, right? And I get this feeling with the Empress reversed and the Sun, and especially with strength there too, you know, it's like double Leo. It's really about looking at yourself with very honest eyes and thinking, what don't I want anymore within me? You know, who don't I want to be and who do I want to be? And this seems to be a very, very important question in terms of, especially from the soul, what is worthy of you? What is worthy of your legacy? What is worthy of your life? You may have felt like you had to do a lot of things here, and you did them, but you might not want to do them anymore. You know, maybe you were self-sacrificing and you now don't want to be in that role anymore, and that's your choice. The most important thing is that this is your choice, and the choice that you make is about you. Of course, there are things, you know, we can't fully outsource. And obviously we all have different lives and are different places in our life, but they're asking you to really be honest and empower yourself to live the dream you actually want to live, and not just settling for it. Because there's a lot of power here that wants to be embodied and reclaimed. And not in an egotistical way. It's not at all what I'm saying. It's like, you deserve to be happy too. But no one can really claim that except for you. And I think a lot of the feminines wait for someone to finally recognize, oh, you should get enough, you should be happy, you should do what you want, and that never comes. And that's very difficult to deal with. And if you're dealing with that, to really be honest about it and to show up for yourself. And there will be a lot of support for it if this is your truth, you know. We're moving from this water and earth into fire and air, right? And so going to be a lot of expansion and things moving quickly. Expectation. Be open for whatever comes next. It might just be the magic your heart has been waiting to hear. Love it. Dreamer. Your dreams have chosen you. Find fulfillment in pursuing your destiny. This is the magic of life. So both cards have magic in them. Anticipation. Something wonderful is happening. Changes in the air. Open yourself to blessings on the way. Has the dragonfly on it. Dance. Find your heart's rhythm. Step lightly and swing with the melody close to your eyes and let the joy lead your way. Oh, close your eyes. Sorry. With the melody, close your eyes and let joy lead the way. Interesting card. Okay. So you both are kind of open to magic, which I love. And between you are blessings. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking it. Keep facing your true north. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? The initiation, rite of passage. You are going somewhere sacred, out of the cave. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And again in the cave. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution, expression. And that may be something. God, I heard something about this. I don't know what they were saying. But it's like your throat chakra, it's protected right now. And if you aren't used to kind of expressing yourself, that may be like why you're crashing out. Because you might need to express more. I do get the feeling that there is this kind of holding back here of things. Buried in earth. Transference. Oh, he has lower world, the past. Medicine shield, protection. Interesting. Shaman, completion. So we've had shaman twice. He may be dealing with something from the past that wasn't like a loop that was open, that wasn't finished. Because I get this, you're resting. This is very Four of Swords. He's dealing with lower energies, past energies. As I was talking about, you know, he may have been like led by the soul to go back and close an open loop. And I kind of got that feeling when I was talking, I forget what I was talking about, but it's like you two conversing telepathically, that's the word. And, you know, he may have left things open on purpose just to like have the door open. So it created mystery. This is like such a great card with these cards up here. Phases and cycles. There's a beginning with it, and every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. I love that card for you so much. Wow. So remember how I was talking about the wings on the strength card? So very much, almost exactly the same. Odin, psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. It's so on point with this reading. And wow, Kali Ma facing fears. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is a chance to soar. This is your chance to soar. And then we have a divine feminine. Inner strength. Move back to wholeness. This is what I feel. This is what I feel you're doing. See the one flame again. Recognize that you have the power. I don't love this card here, but whatever. Take charge. Lead by example. Walk your talk. Call to action. Okay. You know, they're giving us very clear messages here. So if they apply to you, you will know it. If not, no big deal. You know, you two are clearly, I think, getting more comfortable with the psychic element in your relationship, especially him. And I think at one point he thought it maybe like was weird in a bad way, and now maybe it's weird in a good way. Maybe there's a lot of power in it. Wow. This one has not come out for a while, I don't think. The Mystic of Peace. I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. I like it. Hope Joan, sorry. The Pontiff of Possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. See what I mean? I feel like he is connecting to the soul energy. Kadaj, the mother of believers. I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. Wow. So one of the most powerful cards in this deck is Sekhmet. The Red Lady. I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Do you see? This is what I am talking about. That's crazy, you guys. I feel like you're going to be led to say something. The word they're giving me is audacious. I don't think you should say something audacious just for the sake of it. These are crazy cards to come out. Like, really be sure that you mean it. Really, like, speak your truth, though. And, like, if you're shaking and you're still saying it, and that's the way that it's kind of meant to be right now. So we have the musical dragon, the dusky pink dragon from Andromeda. Prepares all of your chakras to embody a higher love. And I think it's a higher self-love, to be honest. Accept and radiate higher love. Touch others with its flame. So this is the third card with a single flame on it for the Divine Feminine. So this is my favorite dragon in the deck. It is the Violet Flame Dragon. Transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. It's time for transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer service under grace. So there's a butterfly there. It's a very alchemical, magical card. And then the Golden Solar Dragon helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired healer. The White Gold Dragon from Lyra connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your causal chakra. Bathe in ninth dimensional Christ light. So extremely high vibrational there. Okay, let's just two more. Let's get some crystals. And then a couple messages. And we'll have made it through with no interruptions. Sunstone. So again, we have the sun with empowerment. Rhodochrostite with acceptance. And Boji stones with balance. And then we have black tourmaline with protection. And we have a couple messages here. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. Transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. So we've had transformed 3 times. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become a reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. We have playfulness. Trust. I saw my favorite card here. No, that's not it. Okay. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. I sincerely hope that helped you. Oh, it was 48:48 right at the end. Talk to you later. Bye.